Hi class, I just wanted to reach out to you and do a quick video. It's going to be a couple of minutes. I wanted to kind of introduce myself to you. My name is Dr. Amy Dilmar and I'm your professor for this class. We have only got 8 weeks together, and some of you have already probably realized that there's a pretty aggressive assignment schedule or a course calendar, and unfortunately that is needed for us to get through all of the content that we need to in the 8 weeks. But first, just wanted to start off, just tell you a little bit about myself. I do work as an assistant principal in an elementary school during the day. I have a PhD in curriculum and instruction and a specialist degree in teaching and learning, but my bachelor's degree was in history, and then my master's degree was in curriculum and instruction with a focus in history, and then I went back to take more master's degree classes in history. So I kind of have two sides to me as far as in online teaching and what I do, and that's again the history side, but also the education side. So that's a little bit about me. I live in Columbus, Georgia. Been living here for about 4 years now. My job brought me here. I work for the Department of Defense at Fort Benning, and that's here in Columbus, Georgia, so that's how I ended up here. But I'm originally from Richmond Hill, Georgia, which is just south of Savannah. I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with that area. I see some of the different places you guys are from that area as well. So you'll get to know a little bit about me, and I'm hopefully going to get to know a little bit about you. I've read all of your introductions. You guys did a fantastic job with the introductions. Thank you so much for not only posting but replying to your classmates, because I think that that online community is a very important part of our success. So thank you on that. So I want to talk just about a couple of things. One, the course calendar. So it is 8 weeks. That is aggressive. There's a lot to do in those 8 weeks. You will find though that there's a couple of weeks where maybe there's not as much due as the other weeks. So I want you to make sure that you pace yourself. One of the most important things to do is go ahead and write down on your own. You know, everything's in the course calendar already, but I want you to, in your personal planner, whether you use a digital or a hard copy calendar, go ahead and write down all the assignments that are due every week. That way you can pace yourself. You know, if you've got a week where you've got a lot going on at your job or with the family and you have more time or less time to work, then you know you can kind of plan that out. Especially around midterm. You'll notice that there's not as much due around midterm, but the midterm is a proctored test. So, you know, it just helps to go ahead and be able to plan that out, because I know that not every week looks the same for you. You're more busy some weeks than others. And then when you get to the end, the last couple of weeks, there's an essay due each week. So that's the assignment that's due. There's no final exam, just an essay for those last 2 weeks. So that might be something you don't want to wait until the end of the course on. But either way, I just wanted to let you know that I do recognize the first couple of weeks are pretty aggressive, and then it kind of tapers, you know, it kind of spreads out a little bit more. But just make sure you pace yourself. The first week or so, I don't really take off late points. It's more important for you to turn the work in. So I might not take off late points as far as in that goes, but do remember that your discussion boards, it's really hard to kind of turn those in late, because the discussion board momentum is based off of post and reply, so you really need both of that. So just be cognizant as far as in that goes with discussion boards. Okay, when I go back to the midterm real quick, make sure you go ahead and there's plenty of links. You'll get it a bunch of times. The school sets it so you get a lot of reminders about signing up for your proctored exam. Extremely important for you to go ahead and do that, and go ahead and make preparations for that midterm, because it's a major grade and it is proctored. So do make sure you do that. And then I want to talk to you about discussion boards for a minute. So I want to make sure that I emphasize that discussion boards are not just a place for you to, one, share your opinion, or two, repeat back to us what you've read, because we're all reading the same material. A discussion board is a place for you to cite evidence from the readings or videos or articles. You're citing that evidence. Citing means you're providing that evidence to support your answer to the prompt. So you might say, for example, 1 or 2 times in your reply, you may say, this is my answer to the prompt, and as evidenced in such and such reading on page 3, or I noticed in my reading that it said such and such, and this is why it led me to think this. So just make sure that you're citing evidence from the text, but also, especially in your replies, that you're adding value to the discussion. So it's not just, yes, I agree, thanks, or no, I don't agree. It's about extending that learning. So it's very important that you look at the rubrics for the discussion post and you take that to heart to make sure that you're getting all the points that you want, which is 100. So one note about the upcoming discussion board for this week. It's, if you read the prompt carefully, you'll notice that it's divided out. It's about the Great Awakening, and if your last name is A through L, I believe it's that you're agreeing with the Great Awakening, and if you're M through Z, then you're disagreeing. So make sure that you read that discussion board prompt and the directions extremely carefully so that you write the correct response. So we're over 6 minutes now. I didn't want this video to be too long, but did want to point that out. Go ahead, use this week to finish up your last week's assignments if you haven't done it. There was a discussion board post. Your Unit 1 was due today. Next week, your Unit 2 discussion board is due. Again, I made that note about the division of duties. And one last thing. Okay, so emails. If you email me, I'm generally pretty quick on the reply, but if you found that it's been a couple of days or you need a quick reply and you haven't heard anything back from me, I'm okay if you just say, hey, Dr. Delmar, I needed you to answer this question. I'm not sure if you saw my email, because people do make mistakes, and with emails sometimes, especially if you're getting a lot of them, it's easy to overlook an email. So it doesn't, I don't have any heartburn about you saying, oh, Dr. Delmar, I emailed you 3 days ago, wasn't sure if you had a chance to reply yet. And generally I will say, oh, sorry, let me get that response to you quickly. Doesn't tend to happen, but it does, every semester there's always 1 or 2 emails that I truly just overlook. So just wanted to put that back out there to you, that I'm pretty responsive. So if you haven't heard something back from me, let me know. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll probably do another midweek update, or maybe on Friday I'll give you an update just to make sure you're tracking all the due dates. But please do ensure that you go ahead and mark your calendars, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.